Fox Carolina follow-up: an agreement has been reached in a lawsuit centered around a group of Catholic students from Greenville and the Smithsonian. Well, the students say that they were kicked out of the Air and Space Museum in D.C. back on January 20th for wearing hats with pro-life messages. Well, in the lawsuit filed by the American Center for Law and Justice, the students were part of a group traveling with parents and teachers to attend the National March for Life. Well, the suit says the students were confronted several times by museum staff and told to remove their hats because it showed, quote, political speech. Well, yesterday, the American Center of Law and Justice announced that they've reached an agreement with the museum that workers cannot prohibit any visitors from wearing hats or other clothing with messages, including religious and political speech, as long as the visitors' conduct is in line with the museum's guest policy. Now, you can check out the entire agreements by heading over to foxcarolina.com.